Hi everyone. Today I wanted to share with you the tools that I have for crocheting. These are all the tools that I have. I need to stay on a budget, and so I have very few things, but I find that this is really all that I need for all my different projects. I'll start with the very first hook that I ever used. My mom gave me this. And I used this in the beginning to practice and to just all of my crocheting. The problem was that I started getting this intense pain in my hand. And once I decided that crochet wasn't going to be just something that was a passing fad for me and I really loved it and I was really going to stick with it, I decided to go ahead and invest some money in some better hooks. And I found these. These are the Clover Amour hooks. This was a 10-pack that I bought online, and they're ergonomic. The pain went away in my hand after just using these for a couple of hours. It was amazing. I love these hooks. They're great. They're really smooth. They don't snag on the yarn. Really great. They were about $35 to $40 online. And this is the most expensive thing that I've purchased so far for my crochet hobby. And I love these. I would never use anything else. Clover Amour hooks, they're amazing. After I was practicing crochet for a while and I got my new hooks, I started doing some different kinds of projects, some bigger projects, and so I bought these hooks. These are also Clover Amour hooks, except for this one. This one is a boy, sorry. Don't know how to say that right. And I will never use anything other than Clover Amour hooks. They're just fantastic. I love these. Can't say enough about those. The other tool that I have are these. These are Knitter's Pride wool needles. These are great for weaving in your ends, or if you're embroidering on your crochet, which is something that I'm just now starting to get into. I love it. Hopefully I'll be able to make some videos on that someday. I was using the traditional needles, the metal needles, and I have a really hard time getting the thread through the end of those, and so I found these Knitter's Pride wool needles, and they're just fantastic. You can widen them to get your yarn through, and then it just goes right through. They're really smooth. They don't snag. They haven't pulled off. I have seen some reviews where some people had the little ends pop off, but I've had these for about a year now, and they're still fantastic. I love these. When I first started crocheting, I still do have really tight tension, and I would get these terrible indentations in my finger. So painful. When that started happening, I thought I was going to have to quit crocheting again, until I found this little ring, and I have an extra one, just because I can't live without these. So if this ever breaks or it gets lost, I know for sure I have another one, and I won't have to stop crocheting while I wait for it to come in the mail. These are really great. They save your finger if you have really tight tension, and you can use it with 3 different kinds of yarn. So if you're doing a project, you've got lots of different colors going on, keep them all on your one finger, and it comes with different size hooks. So depending on the thickness of the yarn that you're using, I don't know if you can see that very well, but depending on the thickness of the yarn that you're using, you can change them out accordingly. That has been a lifesaver. Love those. Then you've got to have your stitch markers, especially when you're just starting out and learning. I would constantly not be able to see the last stitch and whatever I was crocheting, and then things would start going wonky and crooked, and drives you nuts. So you can use these store-bought ones. I love these because they lock in place, so they don't come out quite as easily. You can use safety pins. You can use paper clips. You can even use a long piece of yarn to mark the ends, or to mark your next row, however it is that you're working. Stitch markers, gotta have these. These are great. The other tools that I use, I do a lot of amigurumi. I'm not sure how to say that, but when I'm stuffing little things, I use the ends of my hook, which are great too. But this with paper clip, or not a paper clip, a toothpicks. A toothpick, it helps really just stuff the stuffing in the, I do little amigurumis. And so this just really basic little tool. I love it. And then you've got to have scissors. It's whatever scissors I can find around me at the moment I use. Yarn. My favorite yarn is Red Heart Super Saver. But even when I'm not looking at the brand, my favorite yarn is medium number 4 worsted weight yarn. I love this thickness of yarn. I use it for everything. I use it for blankets, for beanies, for my amigurumi. And I just love this. I haven't really worked with anything thinner, and I've worked with other yarns that are really, really fat. Those are great to use too. But this is my favorite. This is my go-to weight of yarn for everything. The only thing to consider when you're getting yarn, even if you stay within the same brand, I have found that when you have 2 different color yarns, this one is exact same yarn, Red Heart, number 4, medium worsted weight yarn, but you'll notice, and I don't know if you can see here, that there is a difference in the thickness of the yarn. And I think it has to do, and I've done a little bit of research, I think it has to do with the type of dye that's needed for each color. Some colors, especially the darker ones, the dye saturates it more and expands the little fibers. And so if you're mixing colors, you just want to keep a note of that, because sometimes it can be kind of frustrating. But that's my go-to yarn that I love. So those are all the tools that I use, all the tools that I really feel that I need, so I don't have to go crazy and make it really expensive. It's tons of fun. Hope you guys have a lot of fun learning how to crochet, and have a great day. Thanks.